Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about 5 different ways narcissistic people manipulate you into doing things that perhaps you don't want to do or you wouldn't ordinarily do. There are many different ways narcissistic people can do this through many different gaslighting and projective manners. When it comes to projection is when the narcissist often mixes gaslighting and blame shifting together, and they accuse you of the very things that they're actually doing to you. Blame shifting is when they're shifting the blame over to you, and gaslighting is when they're going to go all out to distort your perception of reality to the point where they can lead you to questioning everything about what's happening, everything about who you are, everything about your motives, leaving you full of self-doubt. They get you questioning what you saw, they get you questioning what you heard, they get you questioning what you do, they get you so confused that you believe you're the one that's going crazy, and then they accuse you of being crazy, the very thing they're actually doing to you, sending you crazy. They cause that brain fog within your mind where you are that full of fear, obligation and guilt that you find yourself doing things out of character. You find yourself doing things for them that you wouldn't ordinarily do. You find yourself questioning yourself. They are emotionally manipulating you. So number one, a narcissistic person, a manipulator, will use flattery. And flattery is insincere compliments or praise. However, the way in which a narcissistic person does it, it can sound very sincere. Yet they are insincere people. They're just saying it to get their needs met by you. So where someone will naturally come along, and most people can come along and say, you look very nice today. With a narcissist, they're going to come along and say, you look very nice today, to butter you up before they ask you for something. You look very nice today. You don't mind if I go and do this, do you? Even though they've promised to do something with you, which they'll often put off and say, oh, I forgot about that. Why didn't you remind me? Yes, perhaps we'll do that next week. You don't mind. You're such a kind person. You're such a generous person. You're such a thoughtful person. They're going to compliment you so that they can let you down and go and do what they wanted to do. Or they might have promised to do something for you, because life is about give and take. And as much as we should never really do for others what they are capable of doing for themselves, because then we kind of take their identity away from them, and as much as we shouldn't let people do for us what we are capable of doing for ourselves, because manipulative people will slowly take our identity away from us, life is that compromise. So it's finding the things that the person you care about doesn't like doing, and that person finding the things that you don't like doing, that they don't mind doing, and doing those things for each other to help each other out. The give and take, the balance. Sometimes it can be 80-20, sometimes it can be 20-80, sometimes it can be 50-50, but it is a balance, it's a fine line. Narcissistic people get it to the point where you will find yourself doing more and more and more for them, while they do less and less and less for you, while they gaslight you and blame you. So they might have promised to do something for you, but then they'll turn around and butter you up and say, oh, you're really, really good at doing this. You don't mind doing it again, do you? Oh, you don't mind doing it this time, do you? I know I said I would, but you are much better than I am at doing it. So would you mind, please? And they're getting you to do what they want you to do under the false pretense of claiming you are so much better, which is giving you that praise. Yet it's insincere praise. You might be better. You might be more knowledgeable at whatever it is they're wanting you to do. However, the less they try, the more likely they're going to fail at being able to achieve that. The more you do it for them, the less they're going to be able to do it for themselves, learn for themselves. Life is one big learning curve. We have to do stuff. more often than not, first time we do stuff, we absolutely suck at it. We have to do stuff to achieve, to get better, to attain, to improve. When you've got people that are using your qualities against you for themselves to get out of doing things for you or doing things for themselves, it's insincere praise to manipulate you, to get you to do things for them. Number 2 is coercion, so threats, intimidation and blackmail. A narcissist is going to threaten you in some way that's going to cause you harm, going to cause you pain, be it emotional pain, psychological pain, or physical pain, or pain to a loved one. Narcissistic people will use your loved ones against you. They will cause pain to your loved ones to get you to step out of character and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. They can threaten you in covert ways, that indirect way of, what if so-and-so finds out? What if this happens? What if I don't? What if? To place that doubt within your mind. So they've not directly threatened you, they've indirectly threatened you to get you thinking about what could potentially happen to you or to someone that you love. And then when you ask them about this, they'll often accuse you of overthinking. When you're not overthinking, they've planted those thoughts within your mind. Or they could overtly threaten you. They could directly threaten you when they just come at you and say, if you do this, I will do that. Or if you don't do this, I will do that, which is a more obvious threat and can get you doing things that isn't true to who you are as a person. Out of fear from their threat, if you don't conform to their demands. They might just intimidate you. They can simply just block a doorway. And not in the most obvious ways. They just block the doorway so that you can't get out, to the point where you daren't go past them, but you feel really uncomfortable in the environment you're in. Or they can just get up close and in your personal space. They might not even be saying anything. They can just come up close and get into your personal space. And there's that tension in the air. It's very intimidating. Yet if you say anything, they're going to accuse you of imagining things. So that's the covert, the indirect way. The direct way is when they will purposely move you out of the way and block the doorway, when they will purposely stand over you and start shouting at you and intimidating you. Again, though, if you were to say anything, they're going to accuse you of overreacting. And blackmail, when they're just going to threaten to reveal some personal information about you. We can all perhaps have done things that we're not necessarily proud of, or have said things that can potentially be taken out of context. It's so easily done, and you can all potentially have said things 10 years ago, which the way in the world thinks now, that thinking is outdated. So you might not want other people finding out about that due to other people's perceptions and judgment. And a narcissist will know exactly what to use to threaten to expose about you, to blackmail you. What if so-and-so found out about? I'm going to tell. So again, the covert what if, and the direct I'm going to. If you don't do this, I will do that. 3, the silent treatment, where they're just going to fail to communicate with you. Now, we can all fall silent on people when they've hurt our feelings. We can go no contact, which is a permanent silent treatment. So people are capable of being quiet towards another person more often than not, because we can potentially fall quiet if someone's hurt our feelings as we process our thoughts. When someone falls silent on us, we question what we've done to hurt them. We question who we are. We question what we can do to help them out. Narcissistic people fall silent because of their sense of entitlement, due to the fact that they didn't get what they wanted. So they're seeking to punish you for not pleasing them. So they're going to fall silent on you. They're going to fail to communicate with you about issues, they're going to fail to communicate with you about problems, and they're going to accuse you of being the one not sorting these problems out, to get you to feel bad, to get you to chase after them, and to get you to fear how you behave in future to avoid receiving the silent treatment from you. This isn't somebody who's purposefully hurt somebody's feelings so that person has then fallen silent while they process their hurt feelings. This is somebody who you might perhaps just want to go out and meet up with a friend. You can have told them 6 months ago. You can have it on a calendar. You can be doing something very, very innocent, and because they're trying to isolate you, they don't want you to go out with that friend. So they're going to sulk before you go, and they're going to fall silent on you when you arrive home, to stop you from doing normal day-to-day activities. For they can just play the victim. They can just turn around and say, after all I've done for you, yeah, you of all people, I thought you of all people would do that for me. Now, yes, people can do an awful lot for somebody they care about, and then as they begin to realise that that person doesn't care about them and will not even do the little things for them, can turn around almost flabbergasted and just say, after all I've done for you, because they're trying to process what is happening. It's not to manipulate them. They're sort of questioning themselves. After all I've done for you, you won't do this one thing for me. Wow. Seriously. And then the puzzle is sort of connecting within the mind when you come out with that phrase, when you do so much for somebody and they do very little in return for you, and it starts to connect together. So yes, people are capable of saying these things who are not manipulative. Manipulative people will do very little for you. However, what they do for you, they will use against you as currency to get their needs met by you. Bad people do good things, and they only do good things as currency to use against you. And 5, they might just use logical reasoning with you. There's many ways that they will justify and rationalise their behaviour and justify and rationalise why you should do something for them. They can go through, again, the victim play of, oh, I've had such a terrible day. I know I said I would do tea tonight, I would do dinner tonight, but I've had such a long day. You wouldn't mind, would you? You really are so thoughtful, you're so kind, you're so generous. Thank you so much for sorting that for me. As people can have a long day, as people can have a bad day, people can find themselves coming home and saying, oh, I've had such a rubbish day. Would you mind doing dinner tonight? Because I'm just really not in the mood. And then the other person does dinner. Thank you so much for that. And there's some point that give and take. It's a one-off, it's now and again. With a narcissist, it's a repeat pattern of behaviour. With a manipulator, it's a repeat pattern of behaviour as they do less and less for you, and you find yourself doing more and more for them. Comes with that future faking, where they promise to do something for you, and then they fail to deliver on that promise they made to you. Instead, they start playing the victim of how they didn't get that bonus, how tired they are, how their back's hurting, how they've got a tremendous headache. And as we can have bad backs and as we can have headaches, we can empathise with them, we can show them compassion. And people can have long-term back problems, so you can show them compassion. However, again, if you find yourself doing the majority share of the work while they find a way to rationalise why they're not doing much of the work, yet finding a way to blame you, shame you, criticise you, judge you whenever you bring up the workload you're doing, there's a high chance that they're manipulating you so that they do the bare minimum while getting you to put the maximum effort in. And one surefire way to notice this is no matter how much you do for them, it is never enough for them. They are always expecting more from you. They only praise you when they want something from you. They only do for you when they can use the thing they've done for you against you. They only promise you something when they need something from you. And once they've got what they wanted from you, they let you down on that promise time and time again. They breadcrumb you into giving you that false sense of security, that false hope. And then they let you down at each and every opportunity while blaming you for why they've let you down. So you change yourself to serve them while they carry on manipulating you. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and understand overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.